Hello and welcome to the quick webinar on effective change. If you're watching this, it's because you have a breakthrough session scheduled and we want to give you some information in order for you to have maximum success in your breakthrough session. The focus of this quick video is simply for you to understand the how and the why of the unconscious mind. So let's get started. In the breakthrough session, we use a technique called neuro-linguistic programming. NLP is a variety of neuroscience where we combine the biology or the neurochemistry and psychology. And specifically, neuro-linguistic programming refers to your neurology, the language that you use, and programming, meaning the set parameters of how the system works. So in other words, NLP is like learning the language of your own mind. If you think of your brain like a giant computer, NLP is like understanding how to hack your operating system. And that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing the strategy during your breakthrough session to actually neurologically hardwire your brain in a more effective way for you to get to the personal and professional goals that you set for yourself. So in order for you to have maximum value, you need to understand the 4 themes of NLP. The first theme being perception is interpretation, or perception is projection, is how you'll often hear me say that. And essentially what that means is how you perceive the world is what you put out into it, and then also what's reflected back. If you're an angry person, you will see a lot of anger out in the world, and you will have a lot of anger reflected back at you. If you tend to be a happy person, you will see more experiences of happy and have that reflected back to you. So oftentimes, have you ever noticed when you're having a bad day, it seems to just go downhill rapidly? And it's because you're actually co-creating that experience. So it's important that you know that your perception of how you perceive the world is real, and that's also what you're contributing to the world. So therefore, that's what you get back. Cause and effect. Reasons versus results. Cause would quite simply mean that you are responsible for the experience that you create here on the planet. Effect would mean your circumstances dictate your experience, and you're a victim to those circumstances. So you either have reasons or excuses, that would be on the effect side of the equation, or you have results, which would be on the cause side of the equation, knowing that I cause all of the circumstances and the things that happen in and around me, okay? The third thing that you need to realize is the mind, body, and emotional connection. There is so much research over the last 2 to 3 decades of the mind and body connection, and understanding that the neurotransmitters in our body bathe every cell. So the neural pathways and the ways that you think that are already programmed inside your body can be changed, and when we change them, it changes everything about us. And then the fourth thing is the responsibility for change. It's important that you acknowledge that you are the one who's responsible for the change taking place. This is not a do me, let me sit here, you wave magic fairy dust all over me. This is a do with process. You and I are co-creating this experience together, and I will be in partnership with you for you to get what you want. However, ultimately, you have to be a willing participant, and you have to do your part to be able to make sure that this change happens and then is lasting. Let's talk about the levels of your unconscious mind. Perhaps you've heard of the higher self. Higher self can be described as source energy. Some people might refer to this as God, Allah, higher power, higher self, whatever fits your belief system as to the source of your energy and your higher power, then substitute that word in for higher self. And then you have a conscious mind. Perhaps you're aware of this. This is the part that's awake during the day, that's driving the results, that is the decision maker, reason and logic based. It also is the hub, if you will, for collecting input from your 5 physical senses: your taste, your touch, your scent, your smell, your vision, and also what you hear. So it's responsible for collecting all that data and filtering it into your mind. Your unconscious mind, and notice that circle is a little bit bigger, your unconscious mind does so much. We're going to get into the minutia of that in just a moment. However, it's important that you understand that all learning, all behavior, and all change is unconscious. So let's dive deeper into what this unconscious mind actually does. In NLP terms, we call it the prime directives of the unconscious mind. And this is just a Cliff's Notes version. Your unconscious mind actually does so much more than this. However, in a nutshell, it stores and organizes all memories. It makes associations and learns quickly. It runs the body. So in other words, it breathes for you, it beats your heart, it circulates your blood, it digests your food, and it has a blueprint of what your body looks like now, and also what perfect health would look like for you. And that image of perfect health, that blueprint, is stored in your higher self. The unconscious mind is the domain of the emotions. It's a highly moral being. And when I say moral, I mean the morality that you were taught and accepted when you were young. So in other words, some people might say, oh, well, he doesn't tell the truth very much. Well, that might be his standard of morality based on how he grew up and was taught, and then also what he accepted, right? Your unconscious mind generates, stores, distributes, and transmits energy. It maintains instincts and general habits. It needs repetition until the habit is installed. So you have to consciously do that thing over and over again until the habit's installed. It's programmed to continually seek more and more. So sometimes we wonder, why is it we're never satisfied with anything? Well, we are literally hardwired to seek more and more. The unconscious mind is symbolic. It uses and responds to symbols. It takes everything personally. In NLP land, we have a saying called Q-tip, quit taking it personally, which is kind of a joke because it's paradoxical. Our unconscious mind takes everything personally. Your unconscious mind works on the principle of least effort, and your unconscious mind does not process negatives. So if you said to someone, don't drop the glass, the image that they have is of the glass dropping. So therefore, you're more likely to drop the glass. You want to get in the habit of reframing your language in another way to not have a negative. So in other words, you would say, hang on to the glass instead of don't drop the glass. And most importantly, your unconscious mind enjoys serving, and it needs clear orders to follow. It needs a clear direction. So now that you understand the how your brain works, let's tackle the why. Why does your unconscious mind limit you when we just discussed how its prime directive is your health, well-being, and happiness? Your brain is literally hardwired to respond in a specific way. We use the word metaprograms, which essentially is just your brain's system of shortcuts. It's like you created a desktop folder. And in that desktop folder, every time you boot up your system, are all the shortcuts that direct your decisions, behaviors, and actions and interactions with other people. So it's the default setting, if you will, for your brain to know what to pay attention to and what not to pay attention to. The purpose of your unconscious mind is to creatively ensure that you operate your life in accordance with the truth as you see it. In other words, your beliefs. Think about that for a minute. Let it just sink in. It's the purpose of your unconscious mind to creatively ensure that you operate your life in accordance with the truth as you see it. So if you see yourself as successful and happy, well, then your unconscious mind is going to creatively ensure that you operate your life that way. If you see yourself as unsuccessful and have trouble making money or have trouble creating relationships and maintaining relationships, then your unconscious mind will creatively ensure that you operate your life that way. All humans have a deep-seated need to validate our core beliefs, either positive or negative. That's my favorite slide. So I'll give you a moment to ooh and ah as the curtains separate. Now for the great news. I like the brain in a light bulb. That made me smile when I found it. Breakthrough. That's right. That's exactly what we're about to do. We're about to break through. Break through the limiting beliefs that you have previously held that are keeping you right where you're at and preventing you from getting to where you want to go. So there are 4 requisites for change, and that's what we're talking about. We're doing some serious change work here. The first thing that we're going to do is the release work. We're going to get rid of the negative emotions, the limiting decisions, all of the neural hardwiring that isn't working for you right now. We're going to eliminate and rewire. Then we're going to create the future. We're going to do that by setting a goal for you as you move forward in the area that you want to break through in. The third thing that's going to happen is taking action, which includes enforcing your boundaries and working your plan. And then the fourth thing is focusing on what you want. Your evaluations become suggestions to your unconscious mind. In other words, getting distracted or having a rough day and allowing that to be an excuse why you don't work your plan that way is an evaluation of whether your plan is working or not. And they become suggestions to your unconscious mind and ultimately undermine your success. So you're going to stay focused on what you do want and how things are going great and where things are working. We're not going to spend any energy focusing on what's not working. We're going to acknowledge it and move on. The first two, the release work and creating your future, doing the goal setting, those happen in session. Those are going to happen us together in a breakthrough session. The second two, taking action and focusing on what you want, that's where the work really shifts to you. That's you working your plan, putting in the effort to get where you want to go. Your breakthrough session comes in segments. The first is the pre-work. You're going to read the first 4 chapters, if you haven't already, of Mental and Emotional Release by Dr. Matt James. It's available on Amazon, and you can even download it on Kindle and start reading it immediately. Watch this video to completion and any other tasks that you were assigned. Live session number 1, allow up to 2 hours, is where we're going to take a detailed personal history specific to the area of desired breakthrough. And again, the areas that you can choose for breakthrough are career, relationships, family, health and fitness, spirituality, and personal growth and development. Live session number 2, which can take up to 5 hours, release work, including mental and emotional release, creating a compelling future goal, and then we're going to give you a roadmap, tasks to get you into motion, to get things moving, get you on the right path and moving on the right path so that a body in motion stays in motion. And that way you get a real great start to creating the life that you want, your life, your way, by your design. Where is this taking us? Happy mind, happy life. So with that being said, the code word is happy. When you're asked in your live session, the code word is happy. The code word is happy. One of the quotes I want to leave you with, I think, really sums it up. Waiting to be happy limits our brain's potential for success, whereas cultivating positive brains make us more motivated, efficient, resilient, creative, and productive, which drives performance upwards. So, great job watching this video to its completion. I look forward to seeing you in the live breakthrough session.